Hang around and make a few comments, will you?
My pleasure.
Okay. Here it is. Classic, classic. It's just like the Skins game that's coming up next here on ABC. The best. Here they are. 21 titles for Pete Weber. Triple Crown winner like Billy. Twice Player of the Year, Walter Ray Williams. 13 titles.
Walter Ray starts out just as we expected, and Pete Weber always likes to finish a match first. That means he starts second. His thought is that if I put the strikes on the board, it's twice as tough for a guy who will be Walter Ray if it comes down to crunch time, the 10th frame, to throw the strikes. So let's see what happens. Here's his first shot. Go.
Who says body English doesn't help?
Well, I'll tell you what, Billy Hardwick, as you watch this replay, this is a shot that you would never see back in the 1960s or 70s.
No, actually, when I throw that ball, that's how I shot my 10-pin. I'm not used to the ball coming back like that.
Look at this.
He knows he didn't wait for that ball, Chris. He wanted to get on it too quickly. The big hook ball players have to wait for it like anybody else, but he jumps right on it, leaves the 3, 6, 9, 10. Needs to get the ball between the 3 and 6, have the ball carry out the 9, and the 6 will take out the 10. I think one of the toughest spares at any time, but even tougher here in this situation.
Wow.
Billy Hardwick, spare technique right there. What do you think?
Well, the shot really surprises me, Bo, because on the sideline before the match, when he came over, he came back, he was talking how the left lane was hooking more, and he got over here and he threw the ball slower than he did on the right lane, and that really surprised me for Pete.
And Walter Ray jumped right on it. Pete Weber's opponent, most pens, 24 games, 32 games, said he went 6 blocks without getting mad.
When you strike every ball, Chris, you never get mad.
No.
Average 243 as he set new standards at 16 and 24, but right now, those are all gone by as he trails by 24 pins with just 8 frames remaining in the 1994 Showboat Invitational.
Walter Ray with 3 in a row. And now let's see how Pete responds after an open frame, shooting in the 3rd, trailing by 34.
Pete ranked number 10 on the computer in the world. Walter Ray, obviously, number 1. The style of Weber, just that little shuttle step to get going. 5-step delivery, just riveted on the target. The highest backswing of any player we have out here on the tour today. That's up in the top and just drives straight through. Tremendous leverage in the swing, under control. Look at that finish, the left shoulder pulling back the right. Now 4th frame, going for a double.
That's the Pete Weber we know and love, as his father, Dick, watches here in Las Vegas. Juanita is at home. There's Richard. You know, this year's championship trophy casts a big shadow here in the desert, and so does the chairman of the Showboat, Frank Modica. Here at the Showboat, we're in our championship match. Walter Ray Williams, Jr. going against Pete Weber.
Walter trying to run the table today, win all 4 match, coming from the number 5 position to number 1.
So it's a 10-pin on the right lane. Not an unfamiliar sight for Walter Ray.
Billy Hardwick, Walter Ray rolls the ball much like we did in the 60s and 70s. How do you think he gets away with that type of shot when most all the players are power players today?
Well, you know, the equipment is so good today, and I watched real close. Walter Ray's the only player that I've seen that does not wipe the oil line off his ball. He keeps the oil on the track so the ball will skid further, and the ball, that's like it did in the 60s, but he'd be a great track shooter.
In other words, when the oil comes back, and I really haven't noticed that most players wipe it off, he keeps that residue on there and it lets him hold the line.
Exactly.
Leads by 23, fifth frame.
How do we make it, Bo?
Nasty shot here. What he has to do, there's two ways you can look at this. In his situation, should he take a high chance and try to slide the 6 over into the 4, or just shoot it and bounce one out of the pit? I think Walter is really cogitating on what to do. Should I slide it over? I think he's just going to try to bounce it out, going with extra speed. Good attempt.
Each great professional now with an open frame and 10 pins separating them near the halfway point.
And what a break for Weber. Uncharacteristic of Walter Ray, opening in the 5th. Right now, Weber with a strike can even the match.
Pete liked that. And so did his dad, Dick, and his wife, Kim. Kim, whose father, John Schulteis, has a birthday today.
You can't miss.
There's a smile.
I think Dick says, I can't believe that power. He threw one of the most powerful balls back in the 50s and 60s, but nothing like his son Peter goals. Match all even, 5 frames.
A 10?
Same shot that Walter Ray had in the 4th frame when he had the gauntlet in hand to take a big lead. The ringing 10. Watch the 6 pin, second one on the right-hand part of your screen, just accelerate around the 10.
Bo Burton and I are here with Billy Hardwick. Watching with you, Walter Ray Williams. .610 and a pirouette.
Billy Hardwick, you always had one of the really good, solid approaches, and I believed in that in the game. And Walter, for the first time today, falls off balance to the right.
Yeah, he either stuck or slipped. I don't know what he did, but that definitely made a difference in the shot.
I think slip. When you try to throw it too hard, you slip on that pivot step. He's got a little trouble. Sorry, Chris, that was a big count when you look at it, because if he had gotten 9, it would have been tied. But now that he has 8, he's only stays 1 pin. I'm sorry, if he had gotten 9, he'd have been 2 pins ahead with 8.